Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Nash, and for today's video we're going to be speaking on sinking funds. And I wanted to dedicate a whole video explaining sinking funds because I feel like it's something that everyone should have, even if you don't use the cash system. So with that being said, let's just hop right into it and explain what sinking funds even are. It took me some time to understand the difference between a sinking fund and a savings account. Sinking funds, in my eyes, are mini savings accounts for things that you know will come up in the future. So, aside from having a general savings, whether it's your emergency fund or in general you just like to have money saved up in case something happens, sinking funds allows you to save up money for a specific category so that you don't have to dip into your savings account to cover that expense. So that can range from Christmas to car maintenance. There's so many different categories, and it's honestly up to the person that's doing the budget what they consider a sinking fund and what they do not. I'll be sharing with you guys my sinking funds so you can see throughout my budgeting journey, my sinking funds have changed so much. I've taken some out, I've added some, and at the moment I feel like I have a good ranged. So I feel like the easiest way to explain sinking funds and how to actually start each category, I feel like I must share with you guys an example. So we're going to talk about Christmas. And for some people that may seem far away, but we're in June. We're hitting the halfway mark to Christmas to come. So I feel like this is the perfect chance, if you haven't already and you do celebrate Christmas, to start a sinking fund for Christmas so you can put money aside every paycheck. By the time Christmas comes, or the time that you like to actually go start Christmas shopping, you already have those expenses covered and you don't have to worry about taking a huge chunk of your paycheck to cover this holiday. So here we have just a blank piece of paper, and the first thing that needs to be done is, like I mentioned, we're going to be using Christmas as the example. So I'm just going to put Christmas here. Christmas sinking fund. Christmas sinking fund. First thing you must do is figure out what your goal amount is. This can be done by either looking at the previous years, how much you've spent, and calculating an average, or you can just set your goal amount. Let's say your goal is $600. For presents this year, your goal is $600. Now you have to figure out by what date do you want to have this goal amount. For me specifically, I want my Christmas fund by the third week of November, just so that by Black Friday, if I desire to purchase any gifts on Black Friday, I'll have the money all set. It's up to you when you want your due date to be, but for me specifically, I'm going to count all the way up until the 20th, and you have to figure out how many paychecks you have until that date. For me specifically, I get paid on a weekly basis. So let's say we started this the first week of June. So if we count every Friday I get paid, so I'm going to count how many Fridays I have until that date. 25. So my desired date is November 20th, since that's the last paycheck. That's the last Friday of that week, and that's the last paycheck I'll get to be able to fully fund this goal. And there is 25 paychecks left. 25 paychecks left if we start the first week of June. So now what we do, if we have 600 divided by the number of paychecks left until the date, which for me would be 25, that means I would have to put in $24 every week, every time I get paid. For me, it would be every week, to be able to reach the 600 by November 20th. $24. So when it's broken up like this amount doesn't seem as daunting and unreachable when you're only putting away $24 from your paycheck every week. So that is basically how it would work for every type of sinking fund. Whether you wanted to save up for a camera and you wanted it by a certain date, you would take your goal amount divided by how many paychecks you have for the date, and then that's how much you would have to put away weekly to save for the camera, the laptop, whatever it is. Some people will just stop here and with this amount they would transfer $24 to whatever savings account they would technically be saving for Christmas. For me, since I use the cash budget system, what I would do is every time I get paid, I would make sure to take out $24 from my paycheck and put it into my Christmas sinking fund envelope. And then I would be able to see this goal amount accumulate over time, since I would physically have the cash on hand. So now that I explained how to actually put together a sinking fund, the reason why it works so well for me is because I use the cash budget system. So with that, I have envelopes and also cash dividers that I use, and I put a specific amount in each category. And when it comes to sinking funds, I have an envelope dedicated to each sinking fund that I'm able to put the money into. I wanted to quickly share with you guys my actual sinking funds. I keep them in an A6 binder with my bills in the front, and then I have my sinking funds in the back. I have a savings envelope, then we have travel, Christmas, my boyfriend, birthdays and gifts. We have car. This covers car maintenance, car tags, anything that has to do with making sure that my car is good and all set. Then we have tech. This is where I actually purchased the camera that I currently have, but I also have other tech things that I want to save for, like AirPods, and hopefully in the future get myself a computer. So, and then we have medical. That's why I feel like it works so well for people that are in the cash budget system, to be able to actually see those mini savings accounts visually versus just having one huge savings account in your bank account. But whatever works for you. If you personally don't use cash, you can still do this in a savings account and just kind of have it, the overall total will add up to what your sinking funds are as a whole. You kind of just have to see what works for you, trial and error. And there are some bank accounts that allow you to have multiple savings accounts if you would like to divide them up, but instead of having it physically in your hands, you can have it just digitally on your phone. I hope that this kind of simplified and answered any questions you may have of sinking funds. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and like the video, share, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!